everyone, welcome to the Swish channel. Today we're going to be doing an analysis and reaction to the top 5 picks in the NBA draft. So the first pick was Anthony Edwards for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards is a 6'5" shooting guard who is known for being an athletic player who is capable of shooting at quite efficiently. One of the downsides for him, in my opinion, is that I don't believe that purely off his shooting he can succeed, and his defensive work rate recently has not been the highest, and his motivation to play the game, people have said that he's had a slight lack of motivation to play basketball. And I think that that's quite important because it's not just, your athleticism, your talent, it's also your work rate, how hard you work, because in the end, how you improve is by going to practice and working as hard as you can. And if he's not going to work as hard as he can, he's not really going to be able to improve. So, number 2 is James Wiseman, picked by the Golden State Warriors. James Wiseman is a 7'1" center with a 7'6" wingspan, and his draft comparison was someone like Hassan Whiteside, and I think that he is a rim protector player that will really help the Warriors, because I feel that sometimes inside the paint they're a bit of a weak team that lacks rim protectors. I feel that Wiseman is also a player who is very good in the post and is good and can clean up, get some rebounds, and just put it back inside. I feel that he's going to be a very well needed for the Warriors, an interior presence they need, because as you know, Klay Thompson just got injured, and now this just raises the sort of need of Wiseman to play well. And I feel that he is going to be in a team where he's going to right away be in a place where he has to play well. He doesn't have time to develop, because this season they are seriously still championship contenders, and I think that the Warriors will want him to play to the best of their abilities, or if he doesn't, then their chances will be really low of getting into, the top teams in the playoffs, reaching the finals. Number 3 is LaMelo Ball, who got drafted by the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball is a very skilled basketball player who has good court vision, good passing ability, and he's actually a quite good rebounder who averaged 8 rebounds a game in the league in Australia. So I think that he actually is known for his shooting, but actually shooting is quite inconsistent and is one of his cons as a player, because he has a 20% three-point field goal percentage, and he's not really an efficient scorer yet from there. But when you look at him, he has enough raw talent. He's a 6'6" point guard, and I think that he is a very good player with all of the, the tools to become a good basketball player. Number 4, Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams was, I think, to most people, someone who they didn't really never heard about him. But actually, when you look into him further, he is another one of those athletic players with lots of capabilities naturally, but his shooting needs to be improved. I think that Patrick Williams, though, is one of the players that it has a really big upside if he becomes good, but if he doesn't really learn to go, develop his skills, he has a good mid-range jump shot, but sometimes his release is a bit slow, and I think that in this league you want to be able to get off a fast release so that as a player you don't get contested and blocked really easily. And so I think that's one way that Patrick Williams can improve his game. Number 5 is Isaac Okoro, drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Isaac Okoro, I feel, his comparison is Caron Butler. He's a 6'7" small forward who is really good. He's really athletic. He's able to finish the ball at a high rate. He's good at scoring in contact, dunking. But he is a bit also a lackluster shooter at times. But one thing you can see with him, unlike most of these other players, is his high basketball IQ. He doesn't usually take too many risks that are unnecessary. He usually makes the correct pass. He makes good decisions. And I think that's one key thing for an NBA player, the mental game, where not just physically if you're capable of doing things on the court, but mentally if you're able to think of what you should do in real time. So overall, I think that all of these draft picks, I think, were quite, interesting to look at. They have some similarities, some differences, and I think that they will all make such a big difference for their teams. Overall, I think that this was a bit of compared to the last few years, the last few years have been quite, in comparison to the 1980s, 1990s, quite bad years based on draft talent. But overall, I think that the hype coming in with these players is quite high. LaMelo Ball, the brother of Lonzo, and then also players like James Wiseman and Anthony Edwards, who've been getting quite a bit of attention for the past 2 or 3 months. So I'm really interested to see how these players develop over the next years and throughout their whole career. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.